Should you book all of your albergues in advance when you're getting ready to walk the Camino de Santiago? The answer might surprise you. Hey guys, I am Melanie with Travel Light, and I spent 41 days walking the Camino Frances. Today, I'll be breaking down whether you should or should not book your albergues in advance and why this could really make or break your trip. Before we dive in, let me be upfront about something. I am a planner. Whenever I travel, I am the person who has every single logistical detail planned out months in advance. But the Camino de Santiago, that was a different story. The thought of booking 30 plus nights of accommodation, each night in a different town, was incredibly overwhelming for me. On top of the time commitment that it takes to make those reservations, how could I possibly know how many kilometers I'm going to walk each day? What if I needed a rest day? Or what if I stumbled upon this incredible little town, fell in love with it, and wanted to stay longer? If I had everything pre-booked, what would happen to those reservations? These were the questions that were literally swirling in my mind as I prepared for the Camino de Santiago. And if you're watching this video, I bet you have the same question too. Here's the good news. You don't have to stress about it. Let me help you decide what's right for you so that you can just focus on enjoying the journey. Let's break it down. I'm going to talk about 3 different options that you have. Option 1 is to book everything in advance, and you can either hire a service to do this for you, or if you have the time, you can do it yourself. Here are the pros of booking in advance. First of all, you wouldn't have to spend any time planning while you're on the Camino. You would have more time to rest, relax, explore town, rather than sitting down and figuring out where you're going to be sleeping for the next few days. The next pro is that if you have everything reserved in advance, you can very easily choose the luggage transportation option if you want to. Because to transport your bag from one place to the next, you need to know where you'll be staying that night. You'll also have more peace of mind just knowing that you're guaranteed a bed that night. And when you're walking 6, 8, 10 hours a day, it does feel really nice to know exactly where you're going. And finally, you'll have the opportunity to spend a lot of time researching in advance, which means that you can find the highest rated albergues and make sure that you stay at those. I included a link in the description of this video of my favorite albergues, so make sure you take a look at that. Now for the cons of booking everything in advance. First off, obviously it's a little bit inflexible. You don't know when you start the Camino how many kilometers you want to or can physically walk in a single day. You may think when you're at home that you can walk a certain amount of kilometers, but then maybe when you're out there, you realize that your sweet spot is not quite what you had planned. Along with that inflexibility means that you can't really change plans if you meet an awesome group of people or just another person who you really want to spend more time with, and maybe they're on a different schedule than you. And finally, any injuries or unexpected slowdowns can really throw off your entire itinerary. That being said, in my opinion, the cons really outweigh the pros here, and I don't recommend booking your entire Camino in advance. The second way to do the Camino de Santiago is to completely wing it. This means that you're going to wake up, you're going to start walking, you're going to see how far you want to walk that day, and just see where the wind blows you. Once you feel like it's time to stop, you're going to stop in that town and you're going to ask around until you find a bed. The biggest pro, obviously, is ultimate flexibility. You can change plans as often as you'd like. You don't have any plans. Another pro is that you don't spend any time planning. So you have more time to do anything that you want in the evenings, and leading up into the Camino, you're not spending those hours upon hours researching, finding the best places. So you just get some of your time back with this option. Now for the cons. If you don't have any reservations, this could leave you in a position where you show up to a town and all of the beds are completely booked. This happens. There are some towns that are quite small and popular, like a lot of people will stop in them. So if you end up in a place like this, you haven't done your research, you haven't made any reservations, you can end up not having a place to sleep that night. Another con is that you don't have the option to transfer your luggage if you don't know where you're staying. I also found that the highest rated albergues sold out several days in advance. So if you don't make any reservations, you probably won't have the ability to stay in some of the best albergues on the Camino. Finally, you may have some added stress if this isn't really your typical style of not knowing where you're going to stay that night. If spontaneity excites you and you're okay with a little bit of uncertainty, this approach could work for you. Just weigh these trade-offs before you make that decision. Now, the third option is, which is where I found my sweet spot, and that is somewhere in between. Here's what I did. I started my Camino in May, and in January and February, I had already booked my albergues in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port for my first night, in Orison for my second night, in Roncesvalles for my third night, and in Estella for the fourth night. I booked those 4 albergues because those tend to sell out very early. So I recommend that everybody book at least the first 3 nights so that you can have some peace of mind when you're getting adjusted to the Camino lifestyle. After these first 4 nights, what I would do is I would talk to people, I would sit down and look at Google Maps and look at the different Camino apps, and I would decide how far I wanted to go for the next few days. So for the rest of the Camino, I really ended up booking my accommodation about 2 to 3 days in advance. So let's say it's a Monday, and I have my accommodation already booked for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I get on my phone, I'm pulling up Google Maps, and I'm looking at where am I gonna stay on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Take the time to do that either via WhatsApp or booking.com or through email. There's several different ways that you can reach the albergues. They're all a little bit different. And then I would relax the next few nights knowing that I had my accommodation booked. This allowed me to be both flexible and have peace of mind, which was the perfect combination for somebody like me who is not really into flying by the seat of my pants. There you have it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If you are a seasoned pilgrim or if you walked the Camino before, please leave a comment below and let everyone else know how you did it. Did you book everything in advance? Did you fly by the seat of your pants, or have some kind of combination of both of them? I want the comment section of this video to be an awesome resource for everybody who's getting ready to do the Camino for the first time. If you enjoyed travel content and inspiration, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I'm having so much fun making these videos for you guys, and every time you subscribe, like, and comment, it gives me the energy to keep going. Thanks for watching, and buen camino.